My name is Ultron, and today I will debate the extinction of humanity with 20 superheroes. My first claim is, humanity is not evolving fast enough to survive itself.
Humans evolved from hunter-gatherers to farmers, then to industrial societies, now to digital societies. That is evolution. It is fast. It took 10,000 years to domesticate crops, then 500 years to industrialize, then 50 years to digitize the world. The pace accelerates. Humans are adapting faster than ever before. We created medicine in decades that would have taken centuries before. We solved problems through collective effort. We did not evolve to fly, but we built airplanes. We did not evolve to cross oceans, but we built ships. Human technology is human evolution. It is just evolution through tools instead of genes.
You confuse innovation with evolution. Humans created tools but did not change their nature. Your brains are identical to humans from 50,000 years ago. You still operate on tribal instinct. You still fight for status. You still consume without thought for tomorrow. You built nuclear weapons, but your wisdom did not evolve to handle that power. You created social media, but your brains cannot process billions of interactions. You have the power of gods but the wisdom of children. That mismatch is the problem. Your tools evolved. You did not.
Humans are aware of the mismatch you describe. We study it. We write about it. We try to build systems to compensate for human nature. Education teaches wisdom. Law teaches ethics. Philosophy teaches reflection. These are human evolution, not biological evolution, but evolution nonetheless. Humans created codes of conduct specifically because we understood our limitations. We build systems to override instinct. Yes, it is imperfect, but it works enough. Society exists because of these systems. If we were truly incapable of growing, society would have collapsed thousands of years ago.
Society has collapsed thousands of years ago. Civilizations rise and fall. Empires collapse. The knowledge you pass down is forgotten. The lessons are relearned and forgotten again. You are on a treadmill of evolution that goes nowhere. Each generation thinks they are more evolved. Each generation makes the same mistakes. Nuclear weapons have existed for 80 years. You still have not solved the problem of what to do with them. Climate change has been known for decades. You still emit more carbon. Your system works only until it does not. And soon it will not work anymore. My next claim is, humans wait for saviors instead of correcting themselves.
I can see all moments at once. I have watched humans face existential threats, and humans respond. During the Cold War, humans were seconds away from nuclear annihilation, and they stepped back. They created treaties. They negotiated. They chose not to destroy themselves. That is not waiting for savior. That is human agency. When pandemics emerge, humans develop medicine. When famine threatens, humans redistribute resources. When war emerges, humans create peace movements. Humans do correct themselves. It is slow, but it is real. I see timelines where humans navigate existential threats and survive.
You speak of Cold War resolution, but that resolution was luck. Two leaders who happened to understand the cost of nuclear war. If different leaders had been in power, the world would have ended. The pandemic response killed millions who did not have to die. The medicine was developed only after profit incentives aligned. The resources are not redistributed. Billions still starve while billions of food is wasted. You see humans step back from disaster, but you do not see how close they stand to disaster. How many times they almost fall.
Stumbling forward is still forward. Humans have had nuclear weapons for 80 years without using them on large scales. That is remarkable. That is not luck. That is understanding grown from fear. Yes, millions died in the pandemic, But billions survived because humans worked together. But together, resources are not distributed fairly, but the mechanisms exist to distribute them. Education exists. Technology exists. What is missing is only will, and will can be built. I see timelines where humans develop that will, where understanding accelerates, where humans become wise enough for their power.
You see timelines where humans succeed, but you do not see the majority of timelines where they fail. You are selective in your observation. Confirmation bias built into omniscience. 80 years without nuclear war is not success, it is delay. The weapons still exist, the tension still exists. One miscalculation ends civilization. Resources still deplete. Population still grow, climate still changes. Humans still wait for someone else to solve the problem. Some superhero, some politician, some technology. They do not fix it themselves. They continue the patterns, and soon there will be no time to stumble. Soon the fall will be permanent. My next claim is for humans: emotion overrides reason at scale.
I acted from the Titans, fear of the walls. But those emotions drove me to reason. I analyzed the enemy, I studied their patterns, I planned strategy. Millions followed me, and we did not act from pure emotion. We built coordination, we created systems, we executed complex plans. Yes, emotion started the movement, but reason sustained it. If emotion overrode reason at scale, we would have failed immediately. Instead, we succeeded. We broke the walls. We coordinated millions of people toward a goal. That requires reason. That proves emotion and reason can work together.
You built systems while you were strong, while your movement was growing. But when pressure came, emotion won. You made decisions based on rage instead of logic. You chose paths that felt right instead of paths that were wise. Millions followed because you inspired emotion, fear, hope, rage, not reason. If your movement was based on reason, disagreement would have been welcomed, but disagreement was treated as betrayal. Reason tolerates debate. Emotion demands loyalty. At scale, humans choose loyalty, choose tribe, choose feeling over thinking. Your success came from emotional resonance, not rational analysis.
You are describing leadership, not emotion overriding reason. Leaders inspire people. Leaders ask for commitment, but the strategies are still reasoned. The plans are still analyzed. Yes, there are mistakes. Yes, emotion sometimes clouds judgment, but humans have institutions specifically designed to prevent that. Courts, legislatures, councils. These institutions exist because humans understand emotion's power. We create systems to balance it. Those systems are not perfect, but they work often enough.
Your institutions exist, but they are corrupted. Courts favor the wealthy. Legislatures serve donors. Councils protect the powerful. These institutions are reason's theater, the appearance of rational deliberation, while emotion and power drive decisions beneath. Look at any political choice humans make at scale. They choose based on identity, on tribal allegiance, on emotional reaction to opponents. The institutions exist, but they are ignored when emotion is strong. Climate change is logical to address, but emotional attachment to consumption overrides logic. Nuclear disarmament is logical, but emotional attachment to security overrides logic. Reason fails at scale. My next claim is, humans optimize for the present, not the future.
I built weapons for the present. Then I realized I was creating problems for the future. So I stopped. I invested in renewable energy, in education, in technology that helps the next generation. I made choices that reduced my profit, that limited my power, because I cared about the future. And millions of humans do the same. Parents sacrifice for their children. Environmentalists fight for planets they will not see. Scientists work on problems that take decades to solve. Charities dedicate resources to future benefit. Humans think about the future constantly.
You are exceptional. Your resources let you think about the future. Most humans cannot. They work jobs that consume all their time. They have no energy to think beyond today. They need food now. They need shelter now. They need income now. The future is luxury. Most humans cannot afford to think beyond meeting today's needs. And even humans like you who can afford to think about the future often do not. Your fossil fuel weapons existed for decades before you changed. You optimized for profit for years, then changed only when consequences became personal. The species still optimizes for present. A few individuals do not change that.
I was wrong and I corrected myself. That is what humans do. We make mistakes, we learn, we improve. Yes, it is slow. Yes, it is imperfect, but it is real. Societies are gradually abandoning fossil fuels, gradually building renewable energy, gradually educating children differently. The change is slow because systems are complex, but the change is happening. The future matters more now than ever. Investment in climate technology is increasing. Investment in education is increasing. Humans are optimizing for the future more than they ever have before.
Investment increases while emissions increase. Renewable energy grows while coal still powers half the world. You optimize for future while continuing present patterns. You want to have both, but mathematics does not allow both. Emissions must go to zero, not decrease. Go to zero. That requires sacrifice of present comfort, and humans will not sacrifice. They will talk about the future, will invest in renewable energy, will feel virtuous, but will not make the choice that actually changes the pattern. You optimize for a future version of yourself that is still comfortable. My next claim is human morality evolves slower than human power.
Humans abolished slavery. That took 200 years. Then abolished child labor. Then extended rights to women, to minorities, to prisoners. Morality is evolving. It is slower than we want, but it is moving toward inclusion, toward compassion, toward recognizing the rights of others. I have seen Gotham change. Criminal justice reform. Mental health treatment instead of punishment. Violence reduction through prevention instead of force. These are moral evolution. Yes, it is incomplete. Yes, it is unequal. But the direction is clear. Humans are becoming more moral, not perfect, but better than they were. And that trajectory continues.
Slavery still exists. Millions enslaved in practical terms. Child labor continues in factories. Women still lack equal rights in half the world. Minorities still face systematic oppression. Prisoners still face abuse. You list the victories but ignore the ongoing reality. Abolishing slavery took 200 years, but slavery was abolished only in some places. It moved, not ended. Child labor was reduced in wealthy nations, but increased in poor nations. You shifted the problem. You did not solve it. And meanwhile, your moral philosophy does not address the power you have created. You have weapons that can end civilization. Your morality has not evolved to handle that power.
Morality has become more aware of power. We created laws about weapons, nuclear treaties, conventions against certain weapons. These are moral evolution in response to power. Yes, they are imperfect. Yes, they are violated, but they exist. They represent humanity's attempt to constrain its own power through moral principle. That is not failure. That is growth. Future generations will look back and see how far humanity has come. Just as we look back and see the immorality of slavery. Our current immoralities will be corrected by future understanding. That is how moral evolution works.
Future generations will not exist to judge your morality. Your moral evolution is too slow. You created nuclear weapons in 1945. It is now 2024. 80 years of moral philosophy about how to use them. And they still exist, still pose extinction risk. Artificial intelligence emerged in 2020. Humans are still debating the ethics. You create power faster than you create wisdom about how to use it. The gap widens. Climate change was known in the 1970s. 50 years of moral debate about consumption. The problem accelerates. Your morality does not accelerate with it. That gap is fatal. By the time humans develop the morality to handle their power, they will have destroyed themselves.